Are there Sharia courts in Dallas? It's November 19th, 2025, and these are your headlines. Today, Governor Greg Abbott is calling on law enforcement across North Texas to investigate what he says might be illegal Sharia tribunals operating as rogue courts in Collin and Dallas counties. In a letter to local district attorneys, sheriffs, the attorney general, and the Department of Public Safety, Abbott warned that certain groups appear to be masquerading as legal courts, staffed with judges issuing orders that claim to bind individuals under Islamic law, actions he says could violate multiple state criminal statutes. Abbott noted that while the First Amendment allows religious bodies to resolve internal doctrinal matters, it doesn't permit organizations to operate parallel legal systems. And he pointed to House Bill 45, which he signed back in 2017, banning Texas courts from enforcing foreign law when it conflicts with constitutional rights. He also cited penal code provisions against impersonating judges and issuing counterfeit court orders. The governor singled out the Dallas Area Islamic Tribunal, which publicly states it resolves disputes according to Sharia jurisprudence and claims approval of the Texas judicial system. Abbott says that crosses into unlawful authority. And he urged officials in Dallas and Collin counties to investigate any group attempting to enforce Sharia law in Texas. This letter comes amid increased scrutiny of Islamic institutions, including the proposed Epic City development, now renamed the Meadow, and Abbott's recent designation of CARE and the Muslim Brotherhood as foreign terrorist organizations. The University of Texas in Austin has appointed a senior administrator with a long record of racially inflammatory rhetoric and aggressive support for diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives to a committee tasked with overhauling the university's core curriculum. As first reported by the Texas Horn, Senior Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education Richard Reddick, recently named to the 18-member Core Curriculum Review Committee, has repeatedly described America's founding as white supremacist. He likened President Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler and advocated for mandatory diversity statements in hiring. His university biography highlights numerous DEI-themed publications and awards. Reddick also appeared on a September 2025 podcast calling efforts to dismantle DEI, including work by reformer Christopher Rufo, anti-democratic. He was appointed to the committee less than a month later. And while Reddick's selection raises concerns, at least 7 committee members are tied to UT's School for Civic Leadership, which itself is a prominent classical education initiative.
But every day I run into something that I'm dealing with the county judge.
Judge Bray recused himself, but as we'll soon see, he couldn't resist reinserting himself into the process.
Signing notices, setting deadlines, accepting candidate applications, rejecting candidate applications. The dispute that ensued thereafter was centered on whether or not Judge Bray had the authority to do those things or should have been doing those things.
Head over to TexasScorecard.com today to watch our latest documentary, Kicking the Circle.
Representative Brandon Gill's Expedited Removal of Criminal Aliens Act has cleared the House Judiciary Committee. It's now headed to the House floor. The Texas Republican says his bill, H.R. 5713, strengthens President Trump's border security agenda by allowing law enforcement to more quickly remove violent criminal aliens. Gill said for far too long, Democrat leaders have allowed illegal aliens to get away with unspeakable crimes. He said it's time to empower law enforcement to get foreign bad actors out of our country quickly. The legislation is designed to stop abuses of protections intended for asylum seekers and would make detention and expedited removal mandatory for gang members, terrorists, and individuals convicted of violent crimes or offenses against vulnerable groups. Under the current system, removal can take years of litigation, even after a conviction. This bill seeks to fast-track the process. Gill wrote on X that the bill gives law enforcement the authority to swiftly remove violent criminal aliens and protect American communities. And a similar measure from Texas Congressman Troy Nehls, the Remove Act, also advanced out of committee this week. Nehls' bill would require removal proceedings to conclude within 15 days. Senator Marsha Blackburn has introduced the Senate companion. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.